Well, hey there, everybody. Coming from this lovely hotel room in Ankeny, Iowa, because we are here. We've been here since Thursday for my daughter's gymnastics competition. She wanted to tune into her big sister, watch her big sister the other night, and there's the kid, as you can see. She competes officially tomorrow at 2:30, I believe. And yeah, so that's why there's kind of a different setup here. And chlorine in the pool. Holy cow! Chlorine done a number on my forehead and face here, as you can probably tell. There's a lot of chlorine in that pool. But being in a pool is fun. All right. So power ranking time. And wow, did we see some? We saw some movement that was not really expected. Some movement that, of course, some teams, they just happen to basically stay the same. And one of those teams, of course, coming in number 32, as we all know, San Jose. Oh, what to say about the San Jose Sharks. Losers of 11 straight. Wow. I mean, 11 in a row. That's crazy. But yeah, they definitely once again have solidified themselves at number 32. Number 31, moving down one spot from where they were last week. They went winless again this last week. They've lost their last 4. They're 2-7-1 in the last 10, and that's Chicago. So the Hawks, they are, they're kind of in free fall also. They're without Connor Bedard for the next 6 weeks. They're going to be without Foligno, I think, for probably about that long also. And it's not a good situation for Chicago right now. But again, it's kind of what we expected. Number 30, another team moving down one spot. Now they went. Where did I have them written here? Where are they at? There you go. They also went winless this week. Losers of 3 in a row also. Ottawa. So the Senators, they're just as bad. I was expecting so much more from the Senators. I really was. But wow, are they just, they're I don't know. I mean, you've got a new GM. You've got an interim coach. I don't know. I don't know what more you can do with the Senators right now, but man, they are they're in some trouble. Number 29. Now these guys, they moved up 2 spots, but it's not because they did anything, because they really didn't do anything. They just, they didn't even win a game. They didn't even win a game this week, but they moved up 2 spots because of the fact that these other teams were so bad, and it's Anaheim. So yeah, the Ducks move up a couple spots. Again, not because they did anything, because they really didn't do anything. But yeah, they were fortunate enough to move up 2 spots because, well, Ottawa and Chicago are, well, they're just that bad. Number 28. Now these guys moved down 2 spots also. Or no, they moved down 1 spot. And they did, they went 1-1-1 on the week, so, it's they lost their last game in overtime, 3-3-4 in their last 10. Columbus. So the Blue Jackets, again, another team that's just kind of stapled into this bottom row, and it's an ugly, I mean, there's teams down here that I really thought were going to be better. And they're not. I mean, we expected Chicago to be bad. We weren't quite sure about San Jose, but Ottawa, Columbus, expected a little better from them. And they're not there. Number 27, moving down 2 spots. Even though they went 2-1 on the week, they're actually 6-3-1 in the last 10, but they lost their last game. But again, it's some of these teams, are just that bad. Calgary. So Calgary, like I said, moving down a couple spots. There were teams that were behind them that had a good week, so they moved up. So that's one of the reasons why they dropped. And it just one of them things, But it'd be nice to see if Calgary can get something going here. What are we up to here? Number 26. These guys actually stayed in the same spot. They went. What did they go this week? Now they went 2-1 on the week. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10. They did win their last game, but again they stayed in the same spot. Montreal. So Montreal is, they just, they were just one of them teams. They didn't do good enough to really move up, but they didn't really do bad enough to move down. So, they stay there at number 26. Number 25, moving up 3 spots. Now this is good. This is kind of good to see, and I'd like to see a little more from them. They went 2-0 this week, even though they're 5-4-1 in their last 10, but they're on a 2-game win streak. Buffalo. So, can the Sabres put something together? Can they start putting something together? I think it'd be kind of nice to see if they could put something together. But we'll see. Can they keep this going, or will they just revert back to the Buffalo Sabres we unfortunately all seem to know? Hopefully it's the first part. Number 24. Now these guys dropped 3 spots, and they didn't have a great week. They went 1-2 on the week, 6-3-1 in the last 10. They did lose their last game, and that's Pittsburgh. So the Penguins, they are just, again, they're one of those teams. They're up, they're down. They're up, they're down. We just don't know what we're getting from them. We just don't know what the Pittsburgh Penguins are, or, I don't know. It's interesting. They can have a good week, then a bad week. Good week, bad week. They're literally the epitome of Jekyll and Hyde right now. But, we'll see what happens. Number 23. Now this is one of the bigger droppers of the week. They dropped these guys dropped 7 spots. They went 0-2 on the week, obviously losing 2 in a row. Arizona. So the Coyotes are the Coyotes are they're not that great right now. And we'll see if they can turn it around. But yeah, the Coyotes, they were in the top half last week, and now they're not. So we'll see if they can turn that around. But yeah, as of right now, oofta. Raya and the kid telling me to quiet down. And let's see, who am I up to? Oh, number 22. Number 22, these guys dropped 4 spots. Again, not a great week. They went 1-2 on the week, and losers of their last 2 in a row. And that's Washington. So the Caps, they are. They've had a good run, but yeah, they're kind of on a free fall right now also. and yeah, they're not looking that great either. We'll see if they can turn that around somewhat. Be nice if Ovechkin could start getting on a nice scoring run. But yeah, who knows? Number 21. Now these guys dropped 2 spots, and they ran into a buzz. They ran into a buzzsaw tonight in Boston. And yeah, dropped 2 spots. Tampa. They went. What did Tampa go on the week? Tampa, they went 1-2 on the week, and they just, again, they're one of those teams. I guess we don't know what we're getting from them. Are they good? Are they bad? I'm really starting to wonder if they're going to make the playoffs or not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about Tampa right now. But they kind of got to get something going, right? Hopefully, maybe, who knows? Number 20, moving down 3 spots. Even though they didn't do too bad, they went 1-1-1 on the week. 4-4-2 in their last 10. They did lose their last game to Vegas, and it's the New York Islanders. So the Islanders are, again, they're another one of those teams that is just, what do you get from them? You know, are they again, one week they're good, the next week they're bad. It's just, I don't know. They're so up and down. The consistency is just not there with a lot of these teams right now, and the Islanders are proving that they're one of them. Number 19, moving up 5 spots. They went 2-0 on the week, 7-3 in the last 10. Winners of their last 2, obviously, St. Louis. So the Blues are kind of, again, they're kind of one of those teams. What are you getting? You know, what do you get from them? Another Jekyll and Hyde team that just, the consistency is not there. But right now they're looking pretty good. We'll see if they can keep that up. Number 18. These guys went up 5 spots also. And they had a decent week. They went 2-0. 2-0 this week. Winners of 2 in a row. Even though they are 4-6 in their last 10. Detroit. So the Red Wings, again, what kind of team are you getting from these guys? We just don't know. They're another team. Good, bad. Good, bad. I don't know. It's just it's really odd. You know, really odd to see. I mean, you know, the up and downs of some of these teams, and the fact that we're still getting it, and we're in the first part of January. I don't know. Do not know. But you know, moved them up 5 spots. You know, so we'll see what they can do. Number 17, moving down 2 spots. Now these guys, they are the epitome of an up and down team. And it's the hometown team. It's Minnesota. I don't know. I don't know what we're getting from these guys. Yeah, as the wife said, typical Minnesota. They're so inconsistent. It's just crazy. I think I did that wrong. Hang on a sec. Okay, there we go. Now that's done right. Because I don't exactly have a pen to mark where the numbers are. I got all kind of confused and started going this way. It's going that way. That's how that's how they, you know, that's how it counts down. So I really kind of messed that one up. But yeah, so it's supposed to go that way, Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Just double checking to make sure I'm not goofing myself up completely. But yeah. So Minnesota's number 17. Number 16. Now these guys moved up 5 spots also. Had a decent week. Went 2-1 on the week, 5-4-1 in the last 10. Nashville. So it is interesting to see where Nashville is. Again, they're another one of those teams. What do you do with them? Are they up? Are they down? We don't know. They're a very, very inconsistent team. But yeah, it's good to see where they're at, and we'll see if they can keep that momentum going. Number 15. Now these guys dropped 4 spots. Again, not because they didn't have a great week. They went 1-2. They're 3-7 in the last 10, but they did win their last game tonight. And it's Vegas. So Vegas, again, they had such a good start to the season, and then they just fell off and fell hard. And it's just, and again, some people would go and say, God, you dropped them that far. You'll see why when you see some of these other teams that are ahead of them, and the runs that they're on. That's one of the reasons kind of why they dropped. But yeah, the defending champions right now, 15. I got to think that that's not going to last long. They'll move up. They'll move up this board again, I think. But yeah, as of right now, oofta. So number 14. Now these guys dropped 2 spots, and it's New Jersey. They went, they went 2-1 in the last 10. They went 2-1 this week, 5-4-1 in the last 10. But again, they did lose their last game. So it's interesting. Now again, am I doing that right? Hang on. Hang on a sec. Okay, there we go. Had to moving down the board again. I did that wrong again. It's interesting when you don't have the numbers on the board. But yeah. So just same order. They're just in the wrong side of the board. But yeah, New Jersey. Dropping 2 spots. Again, they're not doing bad, but again, they're a lot of these teams, they got bumped down because they're the teams ahead of them. Oh boy, yeah, there's some teams ahead of this that are on a heck of a run here, and number 13 is one of them. Moving up 7 spots to number 13. They went 2-0 on the week. They're 8-0-2 in their last 10, winners of 6 straight. And that's Seattle. So the Kraken have moved up the board pretty well. Winning 6 in a row will definitely do that. And they keep that going, they'll move up this board even further. And it's good to see. They won the Winter Classic game in pretty convincing fashion. And they've looked good, and good on the Kraken. Number 12, moving down 6 spots. Now these guys, they hadn't been playing well. They've been playing kind of eh. They did win the last game. They went 1-1-1 on the week, 4-3-3 though in their last 10. Philadelphia. So the Flyers they went from the top row to the middle of the second row. And you're gonna drop 6 spots, that's gonna happen. But but I mean, they're still kind of overachieving, I think, and it's really good to see. It's really good to see what they're doing, and we'll see if they can help get back on track here. Number 11. Now these guys dropped 6 spots. Again, these guys were on a good little run until this week. 0-2-1 in their 0-2-1 in the week, 5-3-2 in the last 10. They did lose their last game. Dallas. So the Stars are one of those teams that's just, I mean, what are you getting from them? Good, bad? I don't know. They're one of those inconsistent teams too. We just don't know what we're getting from them. And to see them, to see them drop 6 spots, again, it's partly because they had a bad week, but it's also partly there were a number of teams that were behind them that just leapfrogged them. And this next one's one of them. Now this team, number 10, moved up 4 spots. They 2-0-1 this week, 6-1-3 in their last 10. They did lose their last game in a shootout, but they were riding a 4-game win streak coming into the game, and so couldn't really penalize them too much for losing in a shootout. So I mean, I still bumped them up 4 spots. Carolina. So the Hurricanes. Now, would they have moved up any further if they would have won tonight? I think they would have moved up a little bit further. They might have moved up at least probably one more spot. But it happens. I mean, yeah, you lose a 4-game win streak to a team in a shootout. It's gonna happen. But Carolina's in top half of that second row, and you got to think at some point they're going to be moving into that top row if they can keep this little run going. Number 9. Now this team dropped 6 spots. Again, they didn't do great this week. I mean, they only played 2 games. They went 0-1-1, 4-4-2 in their last 10. They lost their last game in a shootout. And it's LA. So the Kings, that's kind of a big drop. But again, there were teams ahead, behind them that they had better weeks, and they jumped ahead of them. I mean, it's just one of them things. But LA's had a pretty decent run. And hopefully they'll make it back up into this top row at some point. Number 8. Now these guys moved up 5 spots. They went 3-0 on the week, so yeah, they're riding a 3-game win streak, even though they're 5-4-1 in their last 10. Toronto. So the Leafs are looking good, and they avoided the trap game. They avoided the trap game tonight. They were playing San Jose, and it's one of those games you would almost expect Toronto to lose, just because they're going in against a team that's lost 10 in a row. Perfect time for a letdown for the Leafs. It's kind of what they're known for. Not tonight. They took care of business. And yeah, so I mean, they went through California. They went 3-0 going through California. Not bad at all. And yeah, so that's why the Leafs are back into the top row. Number 7, moving up 1 spot. And these guys, they went 2-1 on the week, 5-3-2 in their last 10. Of course, they won their last game, Boston. So the Bruins are, they're still in the top row, but again, they've been up, they've been down. And I mean, what do you get? What are you getting from them? Where's the consistency? Again, they're looking decent right now. We'll see if they can keep that going, though. Number 6, dropping 4 spots. Now, I honestly think some of the people that are going to look at these teams in this top row are literally probably going to think, is he on something? What is he taking? Not really taking anything. I mean, other than but some people again might think I'm completely crazy and belong in a rubber room with a jacket around me. But dropping 4 spots is and again, they didn't do horrible this week. I mean, 1-1-1, 6-3-1 in their last 10. They did lose their last game. They did lose their last game in a shootout. It's the New York Rangers. So the Rangers, even though they're still in the top row, which is not a bad spot to be, still being in the top row, they dropped a few spots. And again, it's because they had teams ahead of them, or teams that were behind them. They had great weeks and they got jumped. So I mean, it kind of happens. Number 5, moving up 5 spots. And these guys they're on a roll. They are on a roll. Obviously, they went 2-0 this week. 7-3 in their last 10. Winners of 7 straight. 7-game winning streak. The Edmonton Oilers. Are they back? Who knows? We don't know if they're back or not. They had an 8-game winning streak earlier, just like about maybe a month and a half ago. And then they turned it into, they lost a couple games and they kind of fell back again. And now here they are again, winners of 7 in a row. But because they got off to such a bad start, they're still like 6th in their division. Because they got off to that horrible start. But they're looking good. They're looking good right now. I mean, winners of 7 in a row, what can you say? It's heck of a run that they're on. Number 4. Now these guys moved up 3 spots. And even though they got trounced tonight by a team that is not yet on the board, they went 2-1, 7-2-1 in the last 10. Moved up 3 spots. Colorado. Now Colorado, of course, they're another one of those teams. They look good, and they look good. Then they come into a game, like they come into the game tonight, and they just they fell behind 3-0. They fought back to tie the game. Then they lost the lead again. They tied the game again, and then it just all fell apart for them again. But again, they're still a top 5 team, and they deserve to be a top 5 team. To be honest, they're just they're number 4. They're not quite in the top 3. Number 3, moving up 6 spots. This is another team on an absolute heater right now. They went undefeated this week. They are 8-2 in their last 10, and they have won 7 straight also. The Florida Panthers. I mean, some of these teams that are just going on these runs it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And to see, teams like Edmonton and Florida go on these runs, it's good. It's cool. It's good to see. It really is good to see. And, of course, some people would probably think, why didn't you move them higher because they're on some of these runs? Well, they were, moving them up 6 spots, especially in this top row. It's not as easy to move up a lot. It's not easy to move up a ton of spaces in these top two rows unless you're on a real big heater. And Florida, Edmonton's on one, Florida's on one. And it's cool. Now of course this might, now if I'd have had these two teams flipped, I might have had a similar situation in the comments section to a few weeks ago. But not quite. Number 2. Now these guys move up 2 spots. They went 2-1 on the week, 6-2-2 in their last 10. They also won their last game. Number 2. Good to see these guys where they are. Vancouver at number 2. I think it's a good spot for them right now. And I know some people will probably think, that they should be lower. Which, a lot of people could make that case. I think a few people could make the case that in this case Florida should maybe be ahead of them, but not quite. Although it was kind of a close call, but right now Vancouver, at least as of this week, number 2. Now some people thought that this was the wrong pick last week to be number 1, but I kept them number 1 because I thought they're playing really well. And a lot of people thought, they shouldn't be number 1. But again, they're number 1 this week. They are on a tear right now. They are 8-0-2 in the last 10, 3-0 this week, winners of 5 straight. And this team, I really look forward to seeing what they can do. The Winnipeg Jets, number 1 again this week on my power rankings. And wow. Some of these teams, the Jets winning 5 in a row. The Oilers and the Panthers winners of 7 in a row. The Kraken winning 6 in a row. This is, these are teams they've moved up these rankings a lot just in the last couple of weeks. And, Winnipeg being number 1 again, I don't think it's a bad spot for them. How are you gonna move a team that's number 1 in the power rankings? How are you gonna move them down when they win 5 straight? When they've been on this run and they've been number 1, how would you move them down when they just keep winning? You can't. Even though last week a lot of people thought the Rangers should have been ahead of them, I thought Winnipeg was playing just a little bit better than the Rangers, and this week definitely showed. Right now, the Jets right now, they are tied for the best record in the entire league. And I think they deserve to be number 1 on my rankings for another week. And we'll see what next week brings. Next week will be the normal setup. I'll have the big board, and I won't completely screw up where I put these teams. But at least what side of the board I put these teams on. Figured it out finally. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. What teams do you think I have? You think they're too high? You think some of them are too low? Let me know how crazy I am. Let me know just how totally off my rocker I am to have some of these teams where they are. Because I kind of like seeing that. And you know what? If it sparks engagement in the comments section, awesome. Let's do it, because that's what it's all about, right? Get that engagement going in the comments section, and yeah. So let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, if you enjoy all the other videos, it'd be greatly appreciated and would be absolutely awesome. Hit that subscribe button. Also, if you feel like if you really like the video and you want other people to see it, go ahead, share the video. Go through a lot of the videos on my channel. Share whatever you'd like. Whatever way gets my videos out to the masses, I'm all for it. So share and share alike. So again, let me know what you guys think. Let me know how off the rocker I am. Hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys again later. From Des Moines, see you later.